Hello everyone, I'm back yet with another video, and this is the part 2 for upper bound and lower bound. If you haven't seen the first video where I explained upper bound and lower bound in details, please check the description box. The link is given down below. Also, before moving on into the video, please subscribe my channel, hit the notification bell and the like sign, and also do not forget to follow me on Facebook. So let's start. Okay, so here I have taken two questions from O-level past papers. As you can see here, the code is 4024 Mathematics D. So I just have picked up two important sums which I thought would be very useful for all of you. So as you can see, this is the first question. Here it says Sam and Tom ran 60 meters. Sam took 9.4 seconds correct to the nearest tenth of a second, and Tom took 8 seconds correct to the nearest second. So my first requirement is to write down the upper bound for the time taken by Sam. So Sam takes 9.4 seconds, and the key word here is correct to the nearest tenth. So nearest tenth, so we know, so when it says nearest tenth, we have to do 1 by 10, which is 0.1, and then divide that by 2, that will give us 0.05. So my upper bound will be 9.4 plus 0.05. Now the second requirement says, calculate the greatest possible difference between the time taken by Sam and the time taken by Tom. So greatest means we have to find out the upper bound. So we have to find out the difference between Sam's time and Tom's time, and this time has to be the greatest time, which is the upper bound of Sam's time minus Tom's time. So as we know, in case of subtraction, the first one, it has to be upper bound, and the second one has to be lower bound. So we take Sam's upper bound and Tom's lower bound. And in order to find Tom's lower bound, you can see here that Tom took 8 seconds, and the keyword here is correct to nearest second. That means plus 0.5 to get the upper bound and lower bound for Tom. So for Tom, the upper bound will be 8.5 because 8 plus 0.5, and his lower bound will be 8 minus 0.5, which is 7.5. So we have found out Tom's upper bound as well as lower bound, but we know that here we have to take Tom's lower bound. So that's why Sam's upper bound, which is 9.45, we already found out in requirement A, minus Tom's lower bound. So that gives us the greatest possible difference between their times. So this was the first question. Now let's move on to the second question. Okay, so here the mass of a box is 2 kg, which is correct to the nearest kg. So again, my keyword here is correct to the nearest kg. So it will be obviously plus minus 0.5. And in the first requirement, we are asked to find out the lower bound for the mass of the box. So we know the mass of the box is 2 kgs. And in order to find out the lower bound, we subtract 2 minus 0.5, which gives us 1.5 kgs. So that will be our answer. Now comes the second part. This part is quite tricky. So here it says the mass of a can is 350 grams correct to the nearest 10 gram. So here the can's weight or mass is given in grams, and it's to the nearest 10 gram. So I know for mass of one can, if we want to find the upper bound and lower bound of this can, we have to first divide 10 by 2 because the keyword is 10 grams here. So 10 by 2, which gives us 5. So the upper bound is 350 plus 5, which is 355, and lower bound is 350 minus 5, which is 345. Now, in the question, it says find out the total mass of the box and 20 identical cans. So we need the mass for 20 cans, not only one can. So what I did is, to find out the mass of 20 cans, I just multiplied the mass with 20 to get the mass of 20 cans, which is 6900 grams. But in my question, it wanted in kgs. So what I did, I converted this grams to kg by dividing that by 1000. That gives us 6.9 kgs. And since it says to find out the lower bound of the total mass of the box and the 20 identical cans, so we will be adding here. So it's box, the total mass would be mass of the box plus the 20 cans. So both of them, since we are adding here, we take the lower bound for both the cases. So it will be 1.5 for the box, because in the first requirement we found out 1.5, the lower bound of the box, and for 20 cans the lower bound we just found out, which is 6.9, and together it gives us 8.4. So yes, that was it. So if you guys have any questions, please comment down below. Thank you.